Hello, everyone. In this recording, we will recap the highlights of the presentation we gave at the Gartner conference last week on the subject of operationalizing AI and eliminating technical debt, and explore how can you do that with an AI-ready composable application and orchestration platform. Firstly, I'd like to thank more than 235 application leaders who came to our session last week. Thank you. We know they were just about 100 seats, so many of you have to stand really far back and couldn't quite hear the presentation well and have sent in a request wondering if there was a recording. We know many of you have budgeted to invest in AI. More organizations are actually wondering, is there a cost-effective way to apply AI that can still deliver strategic advantages? We believe one of the best places to do that is to operationalize AI through goal-driven end-to-end business orchestrations that drive strategic KPIs. However, about 9 out of 10 digital transformation leaders we talked to, they all share one thing in common. They all told us after they invested a lot, they finally realized they are lacking end-to-end business orchestration due to the various silo challenges. And they will have to rely on the traditional ad hoc collaboration through emails and sharing documents. So what we want to get to is to be able to create this end-to-end business orchestrations at scale, but also want to make sure that we do it in a way that we capture the full spectrum from human to human, human to system, and system to system, because those are very important, enable us to operationalize AI. But there are still other challenges. And organizations, due to digital transformation, have adopted various local tools to speed up the development and digitization of many operations. Many of these tools are not built based on the future-proof and modern architecture. Although they deliver efficiency and productivity gains, they actually led to widespread technical debt and governance challenges. Other challenges such as when the end-to-end orchestration are supported by the ad hoc collaboration through email and sharing documents. Interaction with different systems still happens. The data still get deposited into different systems. Unfortunately, the context of the relationship among those data across systems never get captured. And this led to the data challenges, why organizations have to spend a lot of time, a lot of money with the data operations to try to reestablish the context of relationship before they can go to data analytics. And so this is very relevant to the survey shared by Gartner that only 4% of the CIO and tech leaders consider they have AI-ready data. At the same time, vendors are touting GenAI, how GenAI can accelerate the speed of development, but we want to caution that. Again, if the tool and application was not built based on the future-proof and modern architecture, GenAI could actually just speed up the accumulation of technical debt, make the challenge even worse, and further blocking operationalizing AI. This survey shared by Gartner was equally intriguing. As you can see, the CEO placed the efficiency and productivity in the last place of their priorities. But at the same time, they place technology really high on the list. It's probably they worry about, is AI going to help my business or is it going to disrupt my business? And I think this slide really shows what's behind the survey. CEOs are facing all the threats and opportunities, and they like to be able to execute some strategic initiatives such as merger acquisitions. But however, they see a lot of this IT investments delivers a silo efficiency, silo benefits, but cannot assist with this strategic initiative because they're lacking the end-to-end orchestrations. So we believe that we must start architecting to ensure there's a future-proof adaptability. And AgilePoint actually set out in 2003 to do that. We envision a composable platform that's completely abstraction-enabled to be able to future-proof agility and resiliency. It contains a couple key pillars to ensure that any application, for example, processes or applications, can perform continuous improvement continuously without including engineering cycles. This led to 2008, AgilePoint was recognized as a BPM platforms because we enable business process analysts to continuously improve the business process without including engineering cycles. In 2016, AgilePoint was recognized to be a local application platform because the architecture completely reduced the complexity and eliminate technical debt. It ensures that there's no code generation, there's no compilation, and does not require the virtual machines. AgilePoint being a local application platform, the difference is that it's use case agnostic, it's general purpose. In fact, even back then, we envisioned that this architecture can serve as a dynamic execution engine. If one day AI succeeds, now AI be able to adapt running applications without modifying code. And that's where we are today. And we are just very happy that after 20 years, the market has finally caught up with AgilePoint's innovations. And this innovation requires us to really focus on software engineering and architectural innovations. This is a positive. In the past 15 years, many organizations have got used to just compiling technology because of SaaS trend. With SaaS, companies just care about consuming services and without paying attention to the architecture behind. So let's build this out. Firstly, we talk about abstraction as key. So first, we want to abstract your existing IT assets, right? Could be your system records or different tools. So firstly, we have all these different IT assets are heterogeneous. There could be application component, the different API coming from different systems, or the different data and content sources. And many times organization may already invest in building a data lake or data warehouse. And this is nice to have, but it's not required to be able to operationalize AI using AgilePoint. So firstly, we abstract this heterogeneous IT asset. Now they will become commonly represented using the same metadata for application logic and also the data models. So with this means that if I build an application, the whole application can be represented as a metadata. More than 1,000 of abstracted, modularized business activities, abstracted from more than 100 of most popular systems. And through this catalog of modularized activities, the composition now can happen. Doesn't matter if it's a simple workflow or more complex end-to-end business orchestrations, they can be all composed equally easy. And throughout development, deployment, and runtime, AgilePoint provides a layered adaptive governance framework to ensure the proper guardrail in place. And even more exciting, this support tier composability so that we can systematically and simplify how we can operationalize AI. AgilePoint enables organizations to create this AI control tower, which is reusable contextual AI services that you can freely overlay on top of different compositions that you create, and now they can operationalize AI. Let's take a look how we be able to actually do this composition and operationalize AI. Step number one, AgilePoint platform contains more than 10 different components. You are seeing about 3 or 4 here, and they are the most relevant to composition. There are more than 1,000 of abstracted modularized business activities abstracted from 100 of the most popular platforms. You can actually do the full stack application composition from the presentation to logic to data can all happen as part of this composition. And when the composition is completed, it's completely represented as data without code generation, without compilation, or the need for virtual machines. So that's step number one. Very quickly, be able to compose this business orchestrations. After that, now we are able to operationalize AI. So in this case, overlay this AI control tower, this reusable contextual AI services on top of any composition that you create. This is very key because this enables organizations to systematically operationalize AI with simplicity and manageability. Let's look at how other solutions will support this. Most commonly, doesn't matter what we heard is so-called AI enabled or AI powered or AI infused. Typically is to insert a number of these AI logical activities into different applications. As you can see the difference in AgilePoint, this kept simple. Here, this could confuse business users. What are those activities for? In AgilePoint, if I just make change here, and this would right away impact whatever the process that AI control tower is governing. But here, if I want to make change, I got to go back to every application to go back and make that change. So among many other drawbacks, This traditional architecture is not able to support cross-process. Unlike AgilePoint, you are able to have one AI control tower monitor across more than one processes. Here, you won't be able to do that. Let's take a look at the AI control tower services. Out of the box, AgilePoint already provide a number of these AI control tower that built for the most popular AI services that you may use. But AgilePoint provides an SDK to enable you to create your own AI control tower that are specific to your unique business or your unique use case or your unique industries, or to showcase your unique competence. But at the same time, this allows us to apply Operationalize AI systematically with simplicity. Each AI control tower, you can design a configurable interface. You can actually bridge business can consume the AI through this interface. This can be a human coming here to configure this, but information here are actually just metadata. They can also be adapted dynamically. And that's when we can go all the way to do closed loop optimization. In the conference, there were two sessions we're talking about the future of enterprise applications, the future of business orchestrations. In fact, with AgilePoint, the future is already here. For example, the future of enterprise applications no longer buy versus build. It's buy and build and brand. And now if you go back to the architecture we just built out, we can see this concept is already here. This is commodity core system records. I want to keep them as clean as possible. And this is where IT can enable the strategic reuse. At this level, enable business, right, to be able to innovate. Business orchestration can be created to be natively AI ready without code generation, no compilation, no virtual machine, no technical debt, and it's probabilistic support ready. Now we can very quickly realign, even without existing the same IT stacks. We can quickly create application through this composable architecture. It can support the strategic initiatives such as merger acquisition or respond to threats and opportunity adaptively, because we are now able to compose this AI-ready end-to-end business orchestrations very quickly, and then we'll be able to operationalize AI systematically and simply. Here is a Forrester study that they talked to 4 AgilePoint enterprise customers. The customer has been adopting AgilePoint since 2007. With AgilePoint, our customers was able to derive 85% of their benefits by being able to create complex process, such as the end-to-end business orchestration and cross-functional automation. This validated the architecture naturally enabled them to tackle this most complex use cases. And this is actually one of the customer adopting AgilePoint in 2007. They adopted AgilePoint to enable them to accelerate their global expansion through merger and acquisition. So today they have more than 50 subsidiaries, and they also run more than 5 million of cross-organizational end-to-end orchestrations a year. Today, almost all the software programs are deterministic because we define requirements and we turn them into applications. But in the age of AI, probabilistic will become the norm. Even today, a lot of organizations already recognize 20% of the exception that consumes 80% of their time and resources. But in the age of AI, there will be more exceptions. Take a look at one example here. The customer's onboarding. We actually have 2 AI control towers. One is built for finance department, one is built for sales department. For the finance department, they want to mitigate the risk, right? So we onboard a new customer. Assuming the risk index of this customer increase now, finance may use AI control tower to dynamically insert additional reviewers. For sales, want to see the customer's onboarding complete as soon as possible so the customer can start placing orders. Assuming we are here now, we are just about to complete, but AI discovered there's something wrong here. AI suggests that we should go back later to fix the issue. Otherwise, we're going to complain. We found out there was an issue. We're going to have to start over again. And not only that, it's going to cost time and money. We're going to impact the customer experience. But however, here's a challenge. We did not think of that. We may have to come back from here to here. So we didn't put a link with other solutions. It's not possible because at AgilePoint, the complete composition just a data. AgilePoint will be able to support the AI rollback to fix the issue. And maybe when we do that, AI say, oh, there's a dependency. When you fix this now, you also need to come back here to touch up another thing. I can come right back here. In the age of AI, there will be a lot more of this probabilistic scenarios going to happen. And as a matter of fact, a company can do this versus another company cannot. The company can do this, it's going to be able to deliver more intelligent, more engaging customer experience. When AgilePoint was firstly discovered by Gartner in 2007, if you read the report, it talks about the process that the sequence of work is not well understood that must change dynamically based on the context of the transaction in real time. This is actually what we are talking about, the probabilistic scenarios in the age of AI. So this cannot be predefined into a structured automation. And AgilePoint's architecture can dynamically handle this kind of scenarios. And again, this was in 2007. So who are able to support this probabilistic scenarios is going to have the competitive advantage in the age of AI. And AgilePoint provides a very powerful enterprise class layered governance framework to ensure support a lot of different permutations, how you can implement different guardrails to ensure compliance. And this has been tried and true since 2007. So how can you get started? Many organizations told us even they have existing platforms that are leaders on the analyst report, but this is where they are right now. How are they be able to transform quickly, modernizing and transformation simultaneously? Because AgilePoint has throughout the years abstracted more than 100 systems. So you are able to lay AgilePoint on top of your existing IT stack, not intrusive, no rip and replace. You can start compose application and gradually retire technical debts. AgilePoint also provide very flexible deployment, available as a SaaS. You can also deploy that on your private clouds or on-prem. And we provide a very flexible, dynamic, floating concurrency licensing because we see this as an innovation platform. And so we don't require every user to have a dedicated seat. It's a seat that can be shared by everyone in the company. And here's just an example that Fortune 100 was able to retire 8,000 of this legacy application they built in 15 years. They retired that in 2 years by compose 2,000 new models. How many times do you hear people accomplish digital transformation by reducing the number of applications? At the same time, they consolidated the technology footprint, rationalized the application portfolio. And a lot of these compositions were actually done by business subject matter experts supported by IT. And when they did that, AgilePoint have not provided the support for Gen AI yet. But today, you are able to use AgilePoint Gen AI to automatically generating a lot of this application asset for you. So this accelerated sustainable transformation now is possible. Doesn't matter you're looking to create automation, orchestration, or your local applications, ensure that they are AI ready, can deliver future-proof agility and resiliency. And there are many different ways we could get started. Either schedule a demo, we can do a POC, can do a trial, or if you are running a request for proposal, we will really encourage you to include a build from scratch backup competition. And if you want to be able to show internally how we are able to enable you to take up end-to-end business orchestration very quickly, operationalize AI to open people's eyes, we can conduct a fixed cost workshop to get that in place. We can work on that based on your own use case, or we can pick one of the popular templates we have built. We like to take our 20 years of innovation and turn that into your advantage so that you can start operationalizing AI across your enterprise. We'd love to hear from you and work with you and win the AI race together. Thank you.